Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another Hasbro Marvel Legends series review. This is the A.I.M Scientist and A.I.M Shock Trooper 2-pack. Now this is a GameStop / Entertainment Earth exclusive, which means that you will find it at local comic shops, online sellers, and all that good stuff. So it's going to be around. This one was picked up by my good friend Anthony. He got it for me at GameStop. Now keep in mind, GameStop has the premium price of $49.99 for a standard 2-pack, which I think is a little too high. Even though this thing is loaded with accessories, I still recommend going the Entertainment Earth route, or maybe you can find a seller online or something and go for that $39.99 price, because $49.99, on this particular one, I was willing to pay for it. I wanted to get it early and check it out, because you guys know I'm super impatient when it comes to Marvel Legends. When something starts showing up, I gotta have it right away. It's killing me that Magic is showing up in Walgreens already. However, here in Northern California, in my area, she has not shown up yet. So hopefully soon. My Robot Kingdom order actually shipped out last night / this morning, or whatever the Hong Kong time is for today or yesterday. I'm kind of confused by it all, but hopefully it'll be here soon. My orders have been anywhere from 3 to 6 days to arrive, so the earliest would be Monday, and then the latest maybe Wednesday or Thursday I should have Magic. So hopefully sooner the better. But here is the A.I.M 2-pack. So really cool. So here on the package you can see it's just loaded with accessories. Really awesome. So we'll take a look at each figure individually. We'll compare it to the original release from the Mandroid wave, and kind of go from there. So the packaging is really cool. So I don't know why it says Avengers on there. I guess it's just the brand recognition and marketing. You see Avengers, people are going to go crazy for it when you have casual buyers and that buy for gifts for kids or whatever the case may be. So it makes sense. So you see the A.I.M Scientist and A.I.M Trooper. So he was called the Shock Trooper, but it doesn't actually say that on the package, but it does mention it in the back. So really cool, the window box. On the side artwork, you actually see the bucket head look, which is pretty cool. I really like it, and it's funny because this design would be great if we got that in figure form, but these guys are a little bit different on the head sculpt, but still really cool. Looking at the back of the package, we have the two images of the figures, so really cool. You see A.I.M Scientist, A.I.M Trooper, and the bio reads, A.I.M, or Advanced Idea Mechanics, is a scientific organization bent on designing the technology that can take over the world. Combined with the brute force of the Shock Trooper, the A.I.M Scientists innovate international design in the pursuit of world domination. So really cool. So we know that A.I.M was actually part of Iron Man 3 when it relates to the MCU, but obviously in the MCU, A.I.M is extremely different and not really what it is from the comics. But really cool here. And now these guys would probably look really good with a MODOK Build-A-Figure. That is a Toy Biz figure, so it's not something that I have, not something that I'll be getting in the future. Hopefully one day Hasbro will re-release it, because in my opinion, Hasbro can usually make something better. Now I know with some of those older Build-A-Figures, they set a pretty high bar Build-A-Figure wise. Regular single-carded figures, not so much, but those Build-A-Figures are pretty hard to top. So I don't know if Hasbro can do it, but I'd love to see them try. So here is the A.I.M 2-pack. Let's get right to it. Let's open it up and take a look at those figures. Really quick, before I actually pull out all the figures and all the accessories, just wanted to show you guys. These were kind of tucked away, hidden behind the Avengers logo. So those are, I forget what they're actually called, the bandoliers or whatever, but those are the shoulder straps that will go on there. That have, I think they have a holster, but they would hold ammunition, that kind of thing. Now the lining from the package is really cool. It looks like a laboratory kind of thing. You got an office chair, some cool looking things. So it's kind of a nice touch. I kind of like the way that looks. I like what these inner linings can help create, you know, a quick dio kind of thing. Now I'm not much of a dio guy. I don't own one. Hopefully one day I will. So Derek, if you're listening, hint, hint, give me a dio. I need a dio. But pretty cool nonetheless. So there are all the accessories in the pack. Now I'm going to actually take them all out and we'll look at them individually. Alright guys, so here are the A.I.M Shock Trooper and the A.I.M Scientist out of the package. So there are a lot of customizing options that you can do as far as switching out the figures and which pieces and parts to go with which. So really cool. So I actually haven't really messed around with it to see kind of what goes where. So, but a couple of things that I noticed right away when looking at the package, you could see the Shock Trooper actually has that crossover holster that has like the grenades and stuff, but in the package the scientist comes with it. The image actually shows the scientist wearing the shoulder harness or the bandolier, whatever it's called, here. So it's interesting kind of how they do it. So you can really switch this up in a bunch of different ways. I almost feel like you could switch it up more so than the Hydra Pack was, because the Hydra Pack basically had a brute soldier or enforcer and then a regular soldier, so you had two different size figures, whereas these guys are about the same size. So some of these pieces and parts can really kind of go either way, but before we start kind of messing around and moving things and putting things on it, what I want to first do is compare it to the Mandroid Wave A.I.M soldier. So with this guy, the scientist, and we'll look at the differences, and it's not really much. It's just going to be in the paint apps. Now, the Mandroid Wave one, you can see it has yellow gloves, whereas the new one has black gloves. That's the biggest difference really there. They actually painted on some silver buttons on the glove on the Mandroid one, whereas here on the black one, because they're black, there's no additional paint on there whatsoever. So black is kind of the big thing on the new one. So you can see the lens and that helmet, that bucket helmet, is a black color as opposed to the silver color of the Mandroid Wave one. And if you look closely, the way the paint app's applied, it really makes it look like it's a kind of a mesh visor, so that someone on the other side, inside their head inside, they would actually be able to see through it. On the black one they did it as well, but it's not done as well as the silver, in my opinion. It just kind of misses the mark. You can see the yellow bleeds through a little bit. So this Mandroid Wave one definitely looked a little bit better. They both have this harness here, where this one actually seems to have better paint apps. I like the brown leather with the silver what are they, grenades, whereas this one is black, but they did paint on little silver buttons, and then the pull pins of the grenades were painted silver, so that was pretty cool. They didn't do any paint on the back of it, but on the back of this one they still had those grenades painted silver there. Now, one thing on mine is the yellow on this belt did not really come off so well on this one, because you could see black seeping through the yellow. It's kind of paint chipped. You could see right there's a lot of yellow on that diamond part, whereas this one is done and applied fairly clean. Now the black inside the diamond part is pretty rough as it comes along those edges, but at least it's all the black together, whereas this one is really peeling. So the big difference is this one was black and they painted the yellow over the black, whereas this one's yellow, they painted the black over the yellow, which I think was the better way to go, because you could see that this one, the way that yellow over the black looks, it's too tough. They would have to add multiple paints of multiple, what's the word I'm looking for, coats of paint to really get it to stand out, whereas the yellow with the black paint on top, I think, does look better. So that's really the big difference there. No big deal. They're all kind of the same aim, and they're all kind of all mixed together quite nicely. This is definitely one you're going to want to buy multiples of. Unless you've already army built this guy, then you may not need to go for it. Now here, this one, so obviously these are all kind of kit bash sets. So here we basically have the Paladin figure with a different head, but he also does come with the Paladin head here. Obviously just painted a little bit differently, but this is the Scourge or Demolition Man head that was with in the Onslaught wave, the Red Skull wave, I think they called it. But yeah, same figure, just painted differently, so black and yellow. So and my friend Mark, he's like blaming Hasbro for stealing all his ideas, because he actually was having this and he customized it himself, and then San Diego Comic-Con comes around and they're like, hey guys, look what we're gonna do, and you know, he did it first, so Hasbro stole his idea. So really cool there. Looking at the accessories, these are all accessories that we've seen before, but let's get some closer looks at them. Okay, you guys can see all kinds of accessory goodness. So here, first up, this is the gun that the scientist is pictured with. Now this is the same gun that the Mandroid Wave AIM soldier came with, or AIM trooper, AIM scientist, I guess. It's the same gun. We've seen it used and released multiple times. You could just see it's, you know, it's black with yellow, then it has the AIM there on the back of it as well. We've seen this gun multiple times as well, but this time it's in yellow plastic and it has the blue stripe and it has AIM on there. I think this one's come with Deadpool a couple of times, maybe Cable, I can't remember, you guys let me know, maybe Deathlock, I'm not sure. This weird futuristic looking gun is the same gun that came with the Scientist and the Mandroid Wave, both of these guns, the same one. We get this knife, which we've seen released multiple times. So the handle is painted yellow, and the blade is just a gray color, so nothing too special about it there, but it's quite nice. Here's another gun that's just yellow with blue, and it does say AIM on it. We've seen this one released multiple times, but I think Punisher. It may have come with the Deadpool before, we just now have it in the yellow and blue. The additional heads, here's the Paladin Head painted with the yellow, black, and blue lenses versus the regular release. We get another bucket head, which is the exact same. There's no difference to this head than the one that it comes with, but we're going to pop this one on the Paladin body and see how that looks. Here we have the two bandoliers. Again, if I'm butchering what it's called, let me know in the comments below. But we get a gray one and we get a brown one. So those you can actually put onto the Scientist, because I don't think it'll really look real good on the Shock Trooper. But we'll check it out. We'll give it a shot. And then we also have this backpack piece that at first I didn't know what it went to. So I was like, ooh, what does that go to? And I never really noticed it in the stock photos for the 2-pack. So I was thinking, oh, maybe it's a new accessory. It's painted nicely. The silver is done in a fairly metallic looking silver, so it's kind of nice. It has a little bit of shine to it. It's just done in yellow plastic, and they have that little bit of blue that's painted throughout it. But it is a backpack piece, which will go on the back of Paladin. It will, and I guess it actually could go on the back of the Scientist, which I don't remember the hole being in that one before. Okay, so the hole is new, because that was not in the Scientist before, so Mandroid Wave does not have that hole. So this can go onto either one. So again, lots of great customizing options. But this is the same backpack piece that came with Deathlock. So thank you, Eric, for pointing that out to me, because I was like, oh, excited about it, and then I was like, oh yeah, after he told me. So pretty cool. So let's get back to it and look at these figures and start swapping out some pieces and see how it looks. Okay, let's swap some heads out. So we'll take the Scourge head, or Demolition Man head, off of that one, and we'll do a Paladin that now works for AIM, because that's basically all that this figure then turns into, because this is the exact Paladin figure with just a different color scheme. So that actually does look very good in terms of like a mercenary or trooper when you want an army build. So I really like the way that looks. Now let's pop one of these bucket heads on and see how that works out and see how it looks, because I think it's going to look kind of funny, but kind of see now. The way these heads are, you really have to force it on there, and that it looks okay. It works, I guess. You know, it's just because of the yellow and the black. It really all just kind of works together. It's a little odd, but you know, in army building, you want a little bit of variety and variations to your figures. So I think that's, you know, it's a good substitute for it. So let's get to the Scientist and let's swap out some heads with him. So taking out that bucket, and you can see that the ball hinge is extended because of the way that these heads are. You can see how deep that is until that socket in there. So that hinge, that ball peg, sits up really high. So these other heads might look kind of funny on this body. Yeah, the head, it sits high on the neck. It's not terrible. It ends up making the head, I think, look a little small. But you can make it work. It's not something that I will be doing, because I think the Scientist definitely looks better with the bucket head anyway. Let's see how it is with the Paladin head. Yeah, long neck. It's not terrible, but it's just not a look I prefer. I think it's just kind of ingrained for the AIM scientists or soldiers or anything to have really that bucket helmet head. So for this body, I'm going to keep this bucket head on there, and it fits on there quite nicely. For this guy, in getting multiple packs, you know, I'm probably going to switch it out because I think I'll probably end up getting 3 packs. So when I have it, you know, I'll display this guy with, you know, each different head and whatnot. So that kind of works there. So now on the back of the package, some of the things that were a little bit different. So like this piece was actually on this figure on the back of the package. So let's look at that. I'm trying to think if this clips anywhere, and it does not. So that's something where you're just going to pop the head off and work it around that ball peg and get it over the arm, and you can do it that way. So then for this guy, you know, pop that head off again, do it over the arm, get it over that ball peg, and so just like the picture on the back of the package, we have that guy. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to show off this handgun that came with him. So it's a black handgun with a little bit of yellow paint, or actually I think it's yellow plastic, and then they used black paint on it, but it goes quite nicely on the holster there on this side, and then there is a little knife sheath here, so you can put the knife on his boot. So good storage options for some of these weapons. I like when they do that. Now on the back of the package, you see that this bandolier comes on the same scientist, so let's kind of work that around. You want to kind of get the arm back in there, work that loop around there, and fits on there quite nicely, and I do like the way that looks. And I think I actually, do I have that upside down? No, that's right. It's just these pouches sit a little bit lower on the image. On the figure, it looks a little higher. Yeah, I think I got it wrong. Hold on. That's trial and error here, folks. Trial and error. Yeah, so it should be like that. Okay, let's get that on there correctly. There we go. That looks a lot better. So I do like the way that looks, and then again you have several different options because there's two. There's the gray one, and then he also comes with the black one. So let's see how it would look on the Shock Trooper figure as I try and find it when it's on the floor, or it's not on the floor. What did I do with it? Oh, it's here in the back. Let's see how it looks on him. So let me make sure I get that nicely. So we'll put that over. And I'm not going to go over the articulation of these figures in this video. We've seen these body molds before. If you want to know about the Shock Trooper, check out the Paladin video that I have on my channel. And then the A.I.M scientist, check out like the Ghost Rider figure, because it's basically the same figure. So here, these don't really fit nicely onto the Paladin body, the Shock Trooper. So really you're not going to want to use these for this figure. So that's why I think the crossbody one's definitely a good fit for them. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. So as I'm kind of customizing them around, the Shock Trooper will definitely get the head swaps, whereas the scientists, and for my collection anyway, won't do the head swaps, but he'll do, I'll have the different ones with these different bandoliers. So, you know, one will have a gray, one will have brown, and then I'll probably do one without, or I'll have one with the crossbody one. So those are kind of the different customizing options that we have. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on the Shock Trooper. And then what I want to do is see how this backpack piece looks for either of those either of the figures. So this is going to kind of get in the way, but you can finesse it a little bit. Yeah, no, you're not going to want to do that. So you definitely want to have these off. So here we have the Shock Trooper. I'm going to put this backpack piece on there. And it actually doesn't look so good from the front, but I guess from the back it's a good option. But again, it's all about the variation that you can get for your army and your troop building. So it's a nice little touch. Let's see how he looks on the scientist. And then this bandolier has a hole in the back, so it should line up pretty well, except I really have to force it in there. So let's actually take these off and see how it'll look as I pull that bucket head right off. And that collar piece definitely kind of gets in the way. It hugs it a little bit, but then you don't really push this all the way into the back. So yeah, I would say this one's definitely going to be part of your customizing with the shock trooper. So, you know, depending on how you do it, how many packages you get. So you may display one like this without, and then you could do with the Paladin Head even, and you could do one, or you can kind of do without. And then the ones that won't use this backpack piece, you could use this piece. So you can see there's a bunch of different options. And my math, I can't remember how the math works out with probability and everything, and you know, how many ways can you customize these figures. I have no idea. But just like the Hydra 2-pack, I'm probably going to have 3 of these guys. I'll keep 1 in package and I'll have 2 sets on display. That's just kind of how I want to do it. But really awesome. I really like the accessories. The blue and yellow, you know, obviously it's kind of funky for some weapons. But, you know, it matches the theme of AIM and how the figures look. I really like it. So, again, I don't really recommend the $49.99 price point unless you have no problem spending that much on it and find it at GameStop. And you want to get it early because, as far as I know, Entertainment Earth has not received these yet. They have not shipped out. I know Archangel has shipped out from Entertainment Earth to some folks, not everyone. The A.I.M 2-pack, I have not heard anything, so I don't know, but GameStops have been receiving them. But call the stores and kind of see, because in this particular case, for me, my friend found this and they had it, and they had, like, I think they received 2. But the GameStop closest to me was they were only getting 1. It was already pre-ordered for somebody, so kind of keep an eye out for that. But there it is, the A.I.M 2-pack, solid 2-pack. It has all the fun of the army building and so many more options than the Hydra 2-pack. So I really like this. I do recommend that you pick it up. If you can get it for the $39.99 price, more power to you. If not, $49.99 isn't terrible, but just a little bit higher. I'm not a big fan of GameStop's premium pricing, but it is what it is if that's the route that you want to go. Since we don't have Toys R Us anymore, we're kind of forced into who's going to take some of these exclusives. Walmart, Target can only do so much. I don't see Walgreens ever getting any 2-packs. They already have their exclusive themes going, from Fantastic Four shifting to X-Men. And then Walmart just sucks all around. So here we have it. So there's the A.I.M 2-pack. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up if you guys like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, I'd like to thank you for watching. There it is.